Well, this just made gathering up all your pallets well easy. So first up is the Hydrant Pack. This is by Pycell, 0.77 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them under containers. Now, they're only going to cost you 500 each, and you've got a few different varieties here. So we've got Hydrant 1 just there, then we've got Hydrant 2, 3, then we come down, we've got 4, 5, then 6, 7, and then we've got the water pump and then the wow on the end. Now, obviously, depending on which one you go for, isn't going to make much difference because, let's face it, they get water out the ground for you. But obviously, you know, you might want to have a little bit of different aesthetics going in. You might want to go for a right old rusty one. Fair enough. We might want to go for the more picturesque well. Entirely up to you. I mean, they do look good, though. I mean, that pump looks ace. But to be fair, haven't we seen one of these before? There's definitely been a pack or two of hydrants come out. These look very familiar. Next up is Stone Selling Station. This is by Dogface, 2.45 megabyte on the download, and as you can imagine, it's going to be under sell points. Now, it's going to cost you 750 to place down, but obviously, if you've got a ton of stones hanging around, you're going to make that money back pretty sharpish anyway. I'll place it down. That's a little bit of a different sell point. Right, next up is Beehouse. This is by CB Modding, 4.5 megabyte on the download. To be fair, those bees are a little bit loud, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under animals and bees. So there we go, 19 grand to place down, and there's something interesting about this because you can actually go inside, but you're not supposed to. Obviously, your bees are coming out like that, and there's no collisions on it. So yeah, I'm not quite sure you're supposed to do that. I'd imagine it's going to have an update at some point to put some collisions on, but you know, you may want to go inside a bee house for whatever reason. It is loud as well. Alright, no problem. Right, next up is something that definitely takes me back to my childhood. I played on some of these, definitely back in the day. Old Playground Decorations is by Pycell, 4.64 megabyte on the download, and they're going to be found under decorations. Now, I've got a few different things here. So we've got a couple of seesaws. We then got some swings just there. So we've got one, and then number 2 just there. We then got a slide. We got another slide. We then got a climbing frame, different shape climbing frame. I'm going to say that's the one you'd have in the hall when you're doing PE at school. Alright, no problem. We then got what I'd call monkey bars. That's what they were back in the day when I was a kid anyway. We then move on, we've got a sandbox. We've got a little bit of a wooden bridge. We've got something that, well, potentially skateboarders could do some grinds on those, no problem. And we've got a little bit of a girder there as well. We've got a few other things. We've got a couple of tyres knocking around. A couple more frames on the go. And obviously you got some, well, you could do some gymnastics on those, definitely. And then we come here, UK, definitely. Football, old school goals, obviously missing the nets. It's probably a council pitch and somebody's nicked them. But, yeah, I mean, you could use those, no problem. And then we've got an old school basketball hoop. And then a little bit of a pavilion, shed, whatever you want to do. I mean, you could come up here, you know, you could get a dunk on that. Well, I'm not sure I could jump that high in real life. Fair enough. Well, I'll decorate it like it's your childhood again. Well, next up is Corrugated Shed. This is by Big E, 5.03 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, it's going to be found under shed. So 22,400 to buy. There is no options. It comes as it is. And as the name would suggest, corrugated metal on the sides. Once you're inside, you know, no problem. I mean, to be fair, at the end of the day, shed's a shed. But I like the archwork on that. Yeah, there's some decent bit of work on in there. Got a little bit of rust coming through. Not quite sure you'd like that if you actually own a building in real life, mind you. But no, that looks alright, that does. Right, next up is Pigshed. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy. 12.21 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, they're going to be found under pigs. Now, we've got two different versions. First off is this one here for 93 grand. That's going to hold 170 pigs. And then we've got these little bit bigger one there. That's going to cost you 135 grand and hold 250 pigs. Now, you do have the option on both of them. If you fancy doing a little bit of customization, you could put some... we'll spin it around that way. That's a bit better. Put some solar panels on the roof. Alright, why not? Now, they are basically both the same. One's a little bit longer. So you've got your slurry taking out point. You got your food going in. Animal dialogue box just there. And we'll open up this door. And inside, my little bacon sandwiches. Hey, hi, mate. How's it going? Yeah, I know. Just chilling. Yeah, you just sit there. I'll carry on. Oh, fair enough. And obviously, you put your pigs in here. They get a bit bigger, then you sell them off to somewhere. Oh, I've shut myself in. It's no good. Let me get out first. There we are. That's better. And obviously, the bigger one is obviously it's bigger, but it's going to hold more pigs. Oh, all right, they are. Right, next up is Logistics Centre. This is by Yogadim with a 0.12 megabyte on the download. That's a really small download, I must admit. But you're going to find it in the construction menu and under tools. Now, this is brilliant. Really is. Now, if you've got a load of production chains, say like I've got 3 over there, and you think, oh, do you know what? I can't be bothered to go to each individual one and pick up the stuff. Well, no, put one of these down. Dear, oh dear. So, you've got a loading in point just there. Got a production chain menu just there, because technically it is a production chain, even though it's under tools. And you've got a pallet spawn point just there. So, if we go into it here, like that, there we are. We've got all these things. All these. And when I say all these things, when we just scroll down, we're not even out of the inputs just yet. It's everything in there. And obviously, you've got the same going out, because what you're supposed to do, or how to get this to work really, is you go to your other production chains, say like the grape processing unit there. You put it on distributing, it's then going to send it here. So it sends it straight here, and it'll put it out the front like this. So we've got some raisins, we've got some olive oil, we've got some flour. I imagine there's going to be some grape juice somewhere. Yeah, so you just have it all in one place. Oh, indeed. Now, what I have got there is a pallet of planks. You can just chuck stuff in. Obviously, you don't have to wait for your production facility to do its thing. If you've got a load of stuff out, on your farm, and you want to put it away somewhere, just come and chuck it in there, and it'll take it. Kang's Tin Factory since 1951. Oh, that is ace. Right, next up is Farmsilo Package. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy, 3.34 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them under containers. So we've got 3 different versions here. So first off, 16 grand. That's going to hold 27,300 litres. We also got 16 grand again, slightly smaller, also going to hold 27,300 litres. And we've got this one on the end. That's going to cost you 25 grand. That's going to hold 54,300 litres. Now, these are bi-innable silos. So obviously, you pull your vehicle to that bit and then fill it up. Come to the spanner, then you get the options. So this one's solid fertiliser, seeds, and mineral feed. We then got this one, which is going to be, let's have a little look. So we've got seeds and mineral feed. So only solid fertiliser on the first one so far. And then the last one is going to be here like that. Seeds and mineral feed there. So that being said, the most expensive one, whilst it holds the most, you don't get all 3. Interesting. That being said, though, they don't take up that much space, so it could be a nice addition to your farm. Right, next up is Lizard Coupler Triangles. This is by Agri Design Austria, 2.29 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them under miscellaneous. Now, the first one is the Fast Coupler Triangle, 500 to buy. You do have the option to change the colour. Well, you've got the unlimited colour mod on, anything you like, and it's going to weigh 200 kilo. So you could use it as a sort of supplementary weight whilst you're, going through and moving some other stuff around. Or you've got the second version, the Tractor Triangle Standard. So again, it's going to have the option to change your colour. So we go for that. It's going to weigh 250 kilo and it's going to cost you 350. So if you fancy putting one of these on the front of your tractor, go for it. Right, next up is the Shortwood Trailer Pack. This is by Manti Banani, 38.64 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them under wood transport. Now, first off, we've got the Shortwood Trailer 5-axle, 85 grand. You do have the option of aluminium or steel on the bunks. Entirely up to you. You then got design colour. Hey, let's go with the usual. Does the main frame. You then got design colour again. Does those bits. Being said, what if you have the old aluminiums on? Just the little bits. Right, okay, no problem. Design colour again is going to do the old mud guards. And then the rims are going to be the rims. Alright, fair enough. That's a fairly decent size on the old lengthage for getting your logs done. But Yeah, old swivel axe on the front. Not my greatest abilities of reversing one of these, but they've got you covered. Well, they definitely got me covered anyway, because you've got the Shortwood semi-trailer. And I put my teeth in. Obviously, hook it up to your lorry, your truck, whatever you want to call it. 75 grand, and then the colour options are going to be the same. Me, personally, I'd go with this one. Much easier to reverse. Right, next up is Floodlight Trailer. This is by ETA Lammerschuyss, 2.82 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under miscellaneous. Now, it's going to cost you 8,700 to buy. Did you have the option of design? So you got standard, you then got beacon light or standard. You then come down to the design again, so you can have 2 bottom lights, 2 top lights, both of them, or back to the 2 originals. You then got your design colour, which obviously can be, let's face it, at this point, any colour you like. Now, obviously, this is going to be for lighting up your yard when you haven't got your street lights on the go. Now, there is no options from the outside, so to speak, so you will need to get a vehicle. So we'll go and jump in this one, we'll back it up, like that. There we are, right, that's it. And then what you need to do, LB and A, unfold it, jobs are good. And so it's going to put the front legs out, it's then going to put the back legs out, and once it's finished doing this motion, it's going to turn on. There we are. Now, that's very bright. Even in the middle of the day, I must admit. We have got a few options on the bit of manoeuvrage. So LB and right stick up and down is going to tilt the lights up and down like that. LB and right stick left and right is going to tilt the lights left and right. RB and right stick is obviously going to do the same. Up and down does them up and down. Left and right does them left and right. And then LB and RB together. Right stick up and down. There we are. And RB and LB together and right stick left and right spins them all the way around. Oh, fair enough. Now what you can do is once you get it into position, how far is it going up? Oh dear, oh dear. That is wow. I was carry on going. Oh my life, that is wow high. Ah, dear, oh dear. Right, let's tilt the lights down a little. That's better, and we'll do the right ones as well. There we are. So once you've got it in position, you can then detach, because once you've detached, they stay on. So it's like got an internal generator, that sort of thing. And they'll carry on going. Look how bright they are in the middle of the day. Oh, that's ace. Right, next up is the Gorenc Granoter 280. This is by Wolfx Modding, 6.12 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under cultivators. Now, this requires 35 horsepower from your tractor, 2.8 metre working width, 10 mile an hour working speed, and it's only going to cost you 5 grand. That's all right. I mean, 35 horsepower, that's really low, and it's well cheap as well. I like that. Then you've got the option of roller, yes or no. So it puts that on the back. Obviously, that's going to fold out whilst you're in the field. Now, obviously, 2.8 metre. Yeah, it's going to be for your small farming shenanigans, but that's all right, that is. Well, next up is the Amazon Catros 6002. This is by LeMay, 8.75 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under cultivators. Now, this is going to require 180 horsepower from your tractor, 6 metre working width, 10 mile an hour working speed, all for the low price of 31 grand. So 6 metre working width, yeah, on the medium range-ish. I think you'll be able to get some big fields done in a sort of reasonable time frame. That's all right, that is. And next up is the Kuhn Prolander 6000. This is by Hans, 13.47 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under cultivators. Now, this requires 220 horsepower from your tractor, 6 metre working width, 9 mile an hour working speed for £48,086, euros or dollars. You do have the option to change the tyres. You can have Trelleborg, BKT, or back to Trelleborg. So the 2 options on there. All right, fair enough. Get some cultivating on the go. Well, next up is the John Deere 915V Ripper. This is by LR Modding, 9.2 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under plows. That's a great name. 915V Ripper. Oh, love it. 550 horsepower requirement from your tractor, so you are going to need something tasty for this. 8 metre working width, 9 mile an hour working speed for 59,081. That being said, I think this would fit on nicely. Something like a big John Deere 8R, maybe even the 9RX. Something tasty like that. You are going to need something big. I'm not sure the 8R would even go that high. Definitely the 9RX. Oh, why not? Right, next up is the Krampe BigBody 750 2024. This is by Ben, 15.11 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under trailers. Now, It's got a 38,500 litre capacity. Starts off at 35.5 grand. Now, take that off. There you are. That's better. So that's your standard one. So the standard base version, 25,300 litre capacity. You can then change the tyres. You've got Michelin, Trelleborg, Mitas, BKT, Vredestein, and back to Michelin. You've got a couple of different options on the go in there. You've got some wides and some standards. Drawbar, standard, drawbar chrome, or back to standard. Steering axles, you've got hydraulic or forced steering. And then you've got additional options. So we've got a ladder on the front. We've got a platform on the front. We've got platform and ladder or back to standard. You can then have the extension rather than being forced into it as soon as you get into it from the shop. It's going to put it up to 38,500 litre capacity. You then got the main colour option, which obviously it's going to do that bit. Why not? Additional options. Now I'm going to hazard a guess that it's going to be the old platform at the front. So we'll go with that. There we are. Job's a good one. Rim colour is obviously going to be your rims. Alright, fair enough. That's an alright trailer, that is. I mean, don't get me wrong. 38,000 is great. Just start off with the base version. Just saying. And the last mod for the day is the Rolland Ampliroll Pack. This is by Universe Simi Modding. 19.49 megabyte on the download. And just come down your mods and DLCs. It's so much easier. So first off, we've got the actual carrier trailer itself. The Ampliroll 7526 to be precise, to give it its proper name. Now it says you're going to need 350 horsepower to use this, 71,850 to buy. You do have the option of Michelin, Trelleborg, BKT, Nokian, and back to Michelin. You've got a couple of different ones on the go. Wide tyres look alright. Right, no problem. Now, obviously, with a hook lift like this, you are going to need some things to go on the back, and we've got a few different things. So first off is the industrial container, 45,000 litre capacity for 5 grand. That's all right. And then we've got the Rolock 7100 container. That's not a container. Containers are like enclosed, or is that just me? 10 grand. Saying that right. 15,000 litre capacity for 10 grand, whereas the first one was 45,000 litres for 5 grand. All right, fair enough. Then the Turbo Classic container, 36,000 litre capacity for 7.5 grand. I would say definitely go with that one. You definitely get the most for your money. Now, with obviously a hook lift installed, you go do L, B and A, unfold the arms. That's going to put it all the way out the back like that. There we are, and then once it's in position, you can then get it hooked up on the front of the trailer, container, whatever you want to call it. So we'll go back like that. There we are. Once you get into the right position, you get the option, hook it on, press A, and then just fold the arm back in. L, B and A again. It's going to lift it all up, put it on the back, and then away you go. Who could say fairer than that? I mean, roll off, hook lifts. I like them. I like them indeed. A couple of updates as well. So we've got the Kuhn Axis 402 by Camillus 0397, the Converland AB85 by Puzzcap, the Farmhouse Package Volume 3 by DMI 20mm Normandy, and the Multigrain Production by Biggins.